Got the doors painted. They look great. Now, these were a bit of a challenge. There was a lot of dents I had to deal with, but there was no rust, and that's a big, big bonus. But still, a lot of work went into these, and let me show you what I did to get to this. Time to start working on the doors. Now, sandblasting is expensive, and we're getting a little tight on sand, so I wasn't going to do the whole inside of the door. You never do the outside or you warp it all out. But I'm just going to use my little pad. It's going to take me 5 minutes to clean up the rest of this door. And then we can start working on the dents. Now, the inside of these doors are horrible. Like, there's dents everywhere. But there's no rust on the door, so I'm not complaining. And it'll take us some time to, to get everything all cleaned up and filled, but the time you save not fixing rust is huge. So, it's all good news. So let's get started. We'll get all this paint off, and then we can start on the bodywork. Well, we're just starting to deal with the all the little dents. There's over 30 of them. So we're just going to use the stud gun here and pull the major ones. Amazing how it can get beat up, eh? Not too bad. This one here is pretty major. I'm going to have to do some more work there. But we'll just keep going. Eventually, we'll get her perfect. It's the inside. We got to make it look good. Here's the situation. Now this is all crushed in here. And this is up. It's going to take a little bit of maneuvering to get this one right. But the reason I think this is crushed is someone probably put a 2x4 in the door and then closed it to adjust it. And yeah, that's kind of shoddy. That was the old school way of doing things. But you're going to dent up your door, so it's not really worth it. Better to adjust it. There's other ways of doing it. I know that when your hinge gets a little bit bent, sometimes you have to. But if you're going to do that, put a piece of angle iron here or something like that, and then push it out. But I think that's what happened there. We will hammer this down a little bit, relieve a little bit, and then we'll just keep hitting her with the nails. Alright, we're on to door number 2. You can see there was quite a bit of damage on this one as well, but I think we got her. And so I'm just going to hit her with some 40 and then finish it off with some 80 grit. Should look good. And then we can start working on the outside. Didn't show you all the boring stuff. You've seen that on the last door. Got to try and keep the ratings up, you know? Inside of the door is all done. Well, we just got to sand a little bit on, you know, for the pinhole and stuff. Now, the outside's not too bad. First thing we're going to do is strip it down, you know, with a little fiber pad. And then we'll skim with the whole thing with filler. We got a couple dents we can pull, but not too bad. Way nicer than the inside. All right. Now we've got a few dents that we got to address, and I think it's always important to try and pull them out the best that you possibly can, because what that'll do is that'll make sure that the skin stays tight so you don't get any oil can. Stick. Time for some filler. Feels good when you're at this stage here and get the door kind of done. Wasn't too bad. There was a little bit of tweaking. There's a couple of dents that required some pulling, but we got her. Time for the glazing putty. Now you don't want to put this stuff on real thick. This is, the way I describe this stuff here is, it's like putting on, you know, 4 good coats of primer, but it's a lot faster and a lot cheaper. I don't know about cheap, but you really get to see the results of your work quickly. And then we sand this with, I just give it a quick little scuff with 40 grit until you just start to see your high spot indicators, and then finish it off with some 80 grit. Well, this door is a little bit worse than the last one, but I think we can fix it. Some little larger dents in there, but minor for a rambling guy like me. So let's get this one done. You'll probably see it fast forward. We're just going to finish this with 80 grit, and then we're ready for primer. to sand out the doors. Now I'm blocking to the 150. I've got my guide coat down. This is my favorite because this is when you know that all your body work is just, or yay or nay. Just take your time. After this, we'll put on another 2 coats of primer. We're only doing the outside. The inside, I think I'm pretty happy with what we got. We just got 2 little low spots right there. We'll just put a little bit of glaze putty on them. But the rest of the door looks good. Just sanding the spot glaze there for the pinholes. Not too many on this this door or that door as well, so it worked out really good. And just get a light sand with some 150, and it's getting late, so tomorrow we'll put some primer on these, and these doors will be ready to sand out, spray the insides. Now we're just getting started here with sanding the inside of the doors. Big step. We're getting ready to paint, and once we do that, then we can hang them. So it is a big step getting the inside of the doors done. I'm not going to spray them right away, just in, in a couple days, but I want to get them all prepped up. Got a real windy day today, so I'm going to blow my shop out, but I want to get all the sanding done first. So I'm using everything in my power not to touch it by hand. I like to use my orbital, and I'm going to use my little palm sander as well. There'll be some spots where you have to do it by hand, but for the inside, quicker the better. Still going to look good though. one of the last things that we got to do to these doors before we can spray them is right along the seams here. You can probably see better. I'm not going to go all the way around the door, but on the bottoms they like to rust. So just a little bit of seam sealer where it meets there. If it prevents rust in the future, do it. Also taped up the front of the doors. I don't like sanding overspray that much, so it doesn't take very long. I think it's worth it. I'm just tacking everything off, getting ready to spray on some sealer. Now, sanding these doors is a very, very tedious job. You know, I know it's only a 4 brain cell job, but I gotta emphasize you gotta be thorough. Because remember, if it ain't sanded, it ain't sticking. So make sure that you've got everything, you know, your scuff cloth and all your little edges done, because you don't want it to peel off. You want it to last forever. So I'm going to, I wiped these down already with wax and grease. So I'm just tacking them off, put the sealer on today, and we'll let that sit overnight, and then we'll spray them in the morning. They're gonna look good. Sealer looks great. Time to spray some gray. Turned out awesome. Well, thanks for watching this episode. Stay tuned.